What's good, guys? CJ here, and welcome back to another very interesting DNA related video. Shout out to the homie Agent Firuz for making this here video. I'll have the link to the video in the description. It's titled Duet Night Abyss is a threat to gacha games, and that's a very interesting topic that I'm sure a lot of people would have some strong opinions about. So let's go ahead and hop on in. Y'all know how I feel about gacha games. I think they're dog water, right? That's just the reality of it. Y'all love losing your 50-50s. I don't. I'd rather play an actual game. Nonetheless, I still do like playing my gacha games. I still play several gacha games. They're nice little side games. With that said, though, let's hop on in and see what he's cooking.
For years, gacha games dominated the free-to-play live service market. Easy monetization, gacha gods, brainwash reviewers, and endless character banners made the model extremely profitable. But somewhere along the way, something started to crack. This video explores how gacha fatigue was born, and why Duet Night Abyss, a game that removed the gacha model entirely, became the target of one of the most unusual hate waves we've seen in recent years.
Yes, sir, bro. That's a good start, bro. That's a good start. Very, very good intro. I gotta be real, bro. Duet Night Abyss, for those of you that don't know, was officially announced as a gacha game. Another gacha slop title where you were going to be out here getting dogged while you summon for your characters, maybe losing your 50-50s, pulling Ling Yangs and Kalcharos. And out of nowhere, they said, you know what? We're going to change the way we monetize our game, right? And guys, I kid you not. Go look at any of your favorite gacha creators, whether they're Genshin creators, whether they're Wuwa creators, ZZZ, Honkai Star Rail. They were deep-throating. Like, the balls of Duet Night Abyss was hitting their chin before the game even came out. The greatest game of all time, simply because it took away gacha, right? Simply because of that little aspect, they were deep-throating DNA before the game even came out, right? So that alone lets you know how tired people are of the whole 50-50, the whole gacha shit. Now, we move past DNA a little bit, right? After its launch, let's be real, the launch of DNA was absolute dog water. It had a lot of problems. I still played it, I still had fun, but for a lot of people, it had a lot of issues. And even for myself, bro, infinite loading screens, infinite crashes, but co-op was unplayable. Like, and I'm not even exaggerating saying it was bad. It was unplayable. So it had a really rough start. But the game at its core is very good. It offered the ability for people to get any character they want for free, any weapon they want for free. Matter of fact, you can max dupe characters. If you're a gacha player, you know what that means, right? Getting multiple dupes of a character for free, right? You could literally sit down and grind and just get a full dupe character, full duped weapons, full duped gear, everything absolutely for free. All you had to do was grind. To me, that sounds great. After playing games like Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, and a plethora of other games, I was tired of either losing 50-50s or only being able to log in for 5 minutes, doing my dailies, running my stamina, and then having nothing else to do. To me, that's boring. That's not gaming. I don't know how people can enjoy sitting down to play their favorite video game with their favorite characters and all that good stuff, and only being able to play for 5 minutes. And sure, you can play more picking mints for the rest of your other 2 hours, but that's not fun, right? And somewhere along those lines, after people crashed out and complained about not wanting gacha, not liking gacha, it turned into, well, yeah, you can get everything for free, but you have to grind. You have to actually play the game, and that's so bad. And all these people started attacking Duet Night Abyss. And I'm gonna be real, there are so many things Duet Night Abyss can improve upon, but the simple reality of it is that the accessibility to its content to players is insane. You never have FOMO of missing out a character, because after a new character gets released in its mode where you can get it for free with 1 or 2 dupes, it gets added to the weeklies where you can also farm it for free and get more dupes. And guess what happens after they go to the weeklies? They go to the shop where you can infinitely farm it. So you never have to be like, yo, when is the rerun? I gotta save my Astrite for the rerun. That's one thing this game does great. Let's continue with the video.
Even before DNA came out, players were already getting tired of the traditional gacha systems. Exaggerated currency costs, aggressive FOMO, slow QOL changes, and developers giving 3 pulls for 3 years created a mountain of frustration. Because
you know, someone's about to pull out and be like, hell no, they actually gave us 10 pulls.
Players saw their game becoming more of a currency collecting simulator where the pulls were the only motivation to keep them interested rather than the quality of the gameplay itself.
Yup.
And once that happens, there's no going back. The demand wasn't for more gacha, it was for better systems, fair progression, and devs listen points. Transparency between developers and the players. Oftentimes, these developers disguise their feedback as just the tip, then go radio silent. Duet Night Abyss broke out of these shackles by announcing their departure from gacha. At first, the discussion was small, mostly curious, somewhat fast, and somewhat furious, and speculative. It had the potential to change the scene, and just as there were people deciding to back it for that reason, there were also those who would look to snuff it out. It got a decent amount of buzz until Ananta also announced it would be going no gacha. Suddenly the conversation intensified, larger creators entered the scene, sponsored content appeared, and the idea of a future without gacha stopped sounding impossible.
Bro, once again, Ananta, another game that announced wouldn't have character gacha. Guess what? It's getting glazed, just like Duet Night Abyss. If that game drops and it requires you to actually heavy grind the game, just like Duet Night Abyss, which I doubt because it's very different game models, people are going to complain once again. The way the gacha players work, and you might disagree, they want to hop into the game and get the character instantly. If it says for free, that means free of everything. Free of grinding, free of thinking, free of summoning, free. Just, you don't got to do nothing. So if you got to work for these characters in any sort of way, they're not going to like it. And it's not just players, it's creators as well. If you got to actually grind, they're not going to enjoy it, bro. And oftentimes people say, well, the grind is boring, bro. I don't know. I said this in a few streams. Oftentimes people will say, Duet Night Abyss is boring. There is nothing to do. I'm going to go back to Wuwa. I'm going to go back to Genshin so I can play for 5 minutes, collect mint, and log out. Seems like a lot of fun.
It suddenly became a reality. So why does this hate train sound so familiar? Here's the perspective of Wuwa when it first came out. Unlike DNA, Wuthering Waves was a direct competitor to Genshin Impact, and when it launched, the reaction was immediate. Heck, even before it came out, I remember debates of whether it should be called WW or Wuwa. Wuthering Waves didn't just survive the hate, it proved something dangerous, that listening works, that competition forces change, and once players see that once, they start asking why it takes so long everywhere else. Wuthering Waves stayed and kept growing with a watch me succeed attitude, tanking doom posting left and right. It doubled down, listening to feedback, implementing changes Genshin players had been asking for years, and showing visible developer responsiveness. Over time, it became a new home for players who had grown out of Genshin. As more gacha studios rushed in to grab their easy gacha money, they missed one crucial detail. Demand was collapsing. Even more so nowadays, with a new gacha seemingly releasing every other month. Players weren't rejecting games, they were rejecting the gacha model itself. What people wanted now was a gacha anime-style gameplay that delivered without ignoring player feedback. And Duet Night Abyss represented exactly that shift. Even before launch, Duet Night Abyss faced unfair criticism. Players demanded perfect balance reworks, massive gameplay overhauls, and systems that all before the game even received its first patch. Currently, DNA has struggling views, but with a strange form of hate watching. It seems like some players have notifications turned on solely to catch every minor mistake. Why didn't they add this system? No dev could realistically implement this early. It began to feel less like criticism and more like people were searching for excuses to dunk on the game. I personally saw this myself with videos regarding the 1.1 update, along with other topics like the revenue of the game. The videos that...
Absolutely, bro. I'm gonna be real. I haven't seen a game drop in this anime-esque style where you don't have to spend money, because I'm gonna be real, I don't know if you've seen creators literally say, this game has a problem trying to take our money. There is nothing that's actually of heavy value to spend money on the game. I want to spend money on the game. They barely have skins for me to buy that actually pique my interest. They barely have cool cosmetics. They don't have enough things to make money. So it's a game that's it's so free to play friendly that you have people saying, please add more things for me to spend money. Please. Like, I want to spend money. That's how free to play friendly this game is. You get all the characters for free. The characters look good. You get all the weapons for free. The weapons look good. You get the gear by farming for free. You have this little pseudo, like, Pokemon-ish type of system in the game that you can farm for free as well. The game is not perfect. But for a game that has all of these features, it gets so much hate, bro. Like, and it's not just like regular people saying, yeah, I don't like the game. I don't enjoy the grinding of the game. It's people flat out saying the game is trash, is dog water, the game should end of service. Why did they put this trash slop out? The game doesn't make any money. When they were talking about the mobile revenue, which was about 2 mil plus, just on mobile. And it's like people genuinely hoping for the game to die, for the game to be bad. And it's like, why? Do you enjoy getting shafted every time they drop a banner? Do you enjoy losing your 50-50? Because I know y'all be complaining. I see you. Oh, I lost my 50-50. Do you enjoy playing 3 months without summoning a new character because your broke ass can't summon a character? And I'm saving for 3 banners so I can finally get this character. And here, you don't got to do that. You get every character every time. Every character. You don't miss out. You always get every single character. Do you enjoy playing with the same unit for 3 or 4 months without the option to get a new fresh character? Otherwise you'll mess up your savings and you won't be able to get the Archon or the Sentinel or the freaking collab unit. I don't enjoy that. I want to be able to get whatever I want and play with the characters and test new units constantly. So I don't get why a game that gives you those opportunities is getting shit on so much. If anything, if you're a gacha player, it doesn't matter if right now you don't enjoy the grinding. I know you enjoy logging in for 5 minutes, but you should be rooting for the game to do good, to improve, to better its mechanics, its endgame, its combat, its quality of life, everything, to make it better and better and better. So eventually you have a game that will provide you, you know, your anime-looking characters that look awesome, look hot, look cool, whatever it might be, provide you some good gameplay that you might enjoy without having to stress about what characters you're able to get or not, about having to worry if you have to save currency for 3, 4, 5 months to get a unit. You should be rooting for it rather than attacking the game. And the hate for the game is actually insane. Like I said, I've covered WUWA. And in WUWA, you know, you get a lot of hate from Genshin and other communities, right? Not everybody, but a lot of those players usually hate on WUWA CCs. I've done streams where literal people will come in like spamming about Genshin. Genshin is the better game. WUWA sucks. Yeah, they might be bots. I don't know, but that's just weird. And when it comes to this game, I feel like it's not WUWA, it's not Genshin, it's not messing with any of those. It's providing another avenue for players, and they're still hating on it. I don't know if they're scared or I don't know about what. They shouldn't be scared. Their games are on their own lane making millions of dollars, but the hate for this game is actually insane.
Wider were also targeted by people who were clearly walking into it with an agenda. This mirrors a lot of the early reviews of the game, which ranged from low quality and rushed to takes that would have you scratching your head and wondering if you even installed the same game as them. All of this shines a new light on this flood of negativity after the 1.1 stream. These aren't people looking to engage with an open mind and give feedback to help it improve. These are people who are looking for any reason to discard it, to deny any possibility that gacha could be challenged. Things escalated further when Wuthering Waves won the Player's Voice at the Game Awards, beating Genshin Impact. Even WUWA fans were shocked, but the reaction was immediate. Suddenly, any game resembling a threat, gacha or not, was fair game. And what trailer aired shortly after that in the event? This isn't just about Duet Night Abyss, it's about fear of competition, fear of losing control over the market, and fear that players might realize there is another way. We've already seen what happens when developers listen, and some communities don't want another Wuthering Waves moment. When people defend gacha systems this hard, it's rarely about design. It's about sunk cost. It's a crabs in a bucket mentality that I've seen long before this game was even announced.
That's so true, bro. Like I said, I've played a lot of gacha games, dude. And I feel that gacha, and bro, I have gacha games on my phone right now. Where's my phone? On my phone right now, I have Pokemon Pocket, I have Duet Night Abyss, I have Senless Zone Zero, and I don't have anything else because my phone doesn't have any more room, but I have some gacha games, okay? And I have more gacha games on my computer, right? Withering Waves and a couple of other ones that have gacha on them. I like gacha games. One thing you'll never catch me doing is standing a gacha game or a gacha company. I like gacha games, but I will say at the end of the day, they're all slop, right? The fact that they have these systems where you can get characters or weapons and they add it every 20 some days is so trash. And I hate, bro, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I hate the gacha mechanics more than the actual gacha for characters. I don't even mind gacha in for characters. What I don't like is how you log in and you can only effectively play for 5 to 10 minutes to progress your account. That's it. That's all you can do. It doesn't matter the game. Most gacha games that have a stamina system with gacha mechanics and everything, you can log in, play 5 minutes, do your dailies, run up your stamina, and that's it. There is no other significant way to actually improve your account on a daily basis, and I hate that, bro. And I feel like players have some weird Stockholm syndrome. They have some weird like dependency on these games where like, bro, they develop a parasocial relationship with the characters, the games, the developers, the company. I don't know what it is, bro. But you say something bad about any of these games, or you threaten them in some sort of way, even if it's minuscule, they get mad. The perfect example is Withering Waves won at the Game Awards, right? Player's Choice. So if someone said, I don't know how Withering Waves would win over, you know, Expedition 33, right? What do you mean you don't know how it would win? Withering Waves is a superior game, greatest game of all time. Are you stupid? Why would you think that? Why would you even ask that? Like, they get really defensive and aggressive. And it's the same for all other types of games in this space. And it really doesn't make any sense to me, bro. Like, they just get really attached to these games. And I truly feel that if Duet Night Abyss keeps improving, keeps doing things right, it's really going to provide another venue for players that are looking for an anime style game, because there is really nothing out there, bro. Oftentimes, how many of you like anime? How many of you will try a game out simply because it has anime looking graphics? And oftentimes you really say there is nothing else to play in the anime, you know, style market. There really isn't. So I feel that it's pretty messed up that players from these gacha communities want to attack a game that is given all these things for free, trying to do better, had the balls to say, we're changing our monetization mechanic to give out our characters for free, when your fucking games don't even have the balls to give you more than a 10 pull for a special event. They'll give you like a 10 pull, 8 summons, they'll give you like 5 common standard banner pulls and 5 limited banner pulls. They'll win the game awards maybe, and they'll give you 1 temple, maybe 2 for winning like a global award. Because they don't want to lose revenue. They don't want to lose money, right? Meanwhile, a whole game that said we have these characters. How many of y'all were deep-throating DNA before it dropped? And then it drops, and you want to go and attack it rather than, damn, it has potential, let's wait until it does better. A lot of people will say, well, it doesn't have the parry system that Wuwa has, right? Well, if you want that type of parry system, play Wuwa. It doesn't have the element interactions that Genshin has. Well, play Genshin. But this game has things that those games don't have. The ability to get characters for free, weapons for free, play unlimitedly. All those things is absolutely insane. So, when you look at all of that, it's like, why are we hating on it? Why aren't we pushing it to be better, hoping that it's better, and then seeing where it takes us? Maybe one day we won't have to suffer losing a 50-50 or having to put money in the game to get the characters we want.
Whenever players would air their grievances about stamina systems or character banners, they would always be met with vitriol, stating that systems like this were necessary and good, and that restricting players disallows no-lifers from grinding and ruining the game experience for them.
That is so true, bro. There's so many good points in this video, bro. And it's a short-ass video, bro. This video could have been like 20 minutes long with even more things. And in just 5 minutes, he's touched up on some really, really good things, bro. People will actually argue that stamina system and capping certain things is good because it prevents you from burning through the game too fast, from, you know, doing all these things faster, or from getting ahead of people faster. And I'm like, but you ain't competing with nobody. There's no PvP. There is nothing that you get by being better than someone else in the game. And they say this about every game that has this type of thing. What does it matter if someone plays 300 hours in 1 week? I don't even know if that's possible, but they play 300 hours versus the dude that plays 20. I feel that, and this is something that has nothing to do with this video, I'm going to just throw this in here. I am sick and tired of the casual players, that are entitled. Not just casual players. I am sick and tired of entitled casual players that think that despite being casual, they should be getting the same amount of everything as people that play for 5 times their amount. Why should they have more progress than me? It doesn't matter that they play 10 hours a day and I play 30 minutes. They shouldn't have more progress than me. They shouldn't be stronger than me if they're playing more hours. I should be able to clear all the content they clear in the same amount of time despite them having 100 more hours than me in the first week of the game. I am tired of those casual players, bro. They want to like water down all the games and it just makes it really bad. And that's where they want these gating factors. They're like, I can only play 30 minutes, so if they add these gating factors, stamina, limited entries, the sweats, the grinders, the no-lifers won't be able to get that far ahead of me. They're competing with Ghost, bro. They're not trying to get outdone by some random player in Zimbabwe that they've never met. They'll never see their account, but they just don't want to feel that they're getting left behind, even though it has nothing to do with them. So they vouch for these limiting systems and factors, which in my opinion, absolutely make a game dog shit, right? I love, for example, Where Winds Meet. I think it's an amazing, amazing game. But one thing that I don't like about it, despite how much you want to glaze this specific factor, I don't like the fact that they have a stamina system or an energy system in their game for a certain aspect of it at all. I don't mind limited entries to like dungeons or raids or weekly activities, but stamina system is dog shit. I don't care how you put it, how you sell it, anything, bro. It's just bad. I love Where Winds Meet. I don't like that stamina system. I think it's dog water, right? But some people like it because then they know that others can't get too far ahead of them. Personally, I think that's stupid.
While quietly brushing aside the fact that someone's wallet would create that exact same disparity. Any imagination beyond what was already established could disrupt their complacent comfort, even as the games they so passionately defended slowly degraded and stagnated. And when you take a look at Duet Night Abyss's primary inspiration, you'll see a positive trend. It mirrors the fable of the tortoise and the hare. Destiny started stronger and made leaps and bounds, seeing higher peaks and deeper lows. All the while, Warframe plugged along, gradually improving their game for the 26 million registered losers, until it finally eclipsed its competitor. And that's exactly what Pan Studios aims to emulate.
Yep.
This video isn't here to claim DNA's perfect, it's here to ask a bigger question. When did the criticism stop becoming about improvement and start becoming more about threat control? Because the real threat isn't no gacha, it's the idea that players might finally stop accepting the bare minimum. Duet Night Abyss doesn't need to replace gacha games to matter, it just needs to survive. Because once a non-gacha game proves staying power, the illusion disappears. What do you think? Do you agree? But that just about does it for this topic. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you all next time.
Yo, shout out to Firuz. That was a really good video, bro. That was a very good video, bro. That was not unintentional. Like, try to put it on that chat and this came up. Okay, buddy. Listen, very good video. I think it's a very, very well presented video that allows players to not only share their opinions and inform themselves, but it's going to allow a lot of people that react to content, a lot of CCs, to watch this video and share their takes on it, because once again, if you look at it, there was no glaze for Duet Night Abyss. He didn't say the game is perfect, the game has no faults. We all acknowledge the problems that Duet Night Abyss has, the launch issues that it did have. But the reality of it is that at one point, did we stop trying to look for games to be better and giving them the chance to be better, and started just attacking them out the bat, bro? It's a free game. Devs are communicating. They're trying to improve the game. And if you're an anime fan, if you're someone that likes this type of graphics, this type of, gaming looks, why are you attacking the game? Like, I want to have that conversation with anybody that does attack the game. Oh, the game is dog shit. It's ass. It's gonna die. It's a Why do you feel the need to attack the game? Where is it hurting you? Where is it challenging your favorite game? Like, what is it doing that you're so either threatened by it or hurt by this game that you feel the need to attack it, bro? We were talking with the chat earlier. Look at No Man's Sky. It came out and it was a hot pile of doo-doo, bro. I actually bought No Man's Sky the day it came out. Played it 2 hours, never touched it again, sold the game in a GameStop, bought it again like 2 years later, played it a little bit more, enjoyed it a little bit more, never touched it again, gave it away to one of my cousins. Years down the line, bought it again, and I just have it there on my PlayStation. And look at it now. It won an award at the Game Awards. From where it started, everybody's saying it was trash, to winning an award at the Game Awards and now being one of the best redemption stories of a video game of all time. Going from trash to absolute cinema in its respective genre. So when we look at a game like Duet Night Abyss, I feel that some of y'all really got to stop being these like parasocial players that just stand these games, be it Genshin, Wuwa, it doesn't matter, bro. Just any of these games, and look at gaming as a whole. If a game is not your cup of tea, if you don't enjoy the grind in Duet Night Abyss, that's good. Cool. Move on and wish it well. Don't be some salty, like, angry troll. It's not good. I know some of y'all are cheering. Y'all could be 40-year-old children, but just do better, bro. At the end of the day, even competition between games like Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves, despite them having different audiences, is good. If Wuwa does something that's very good and outstanding, maybe Genshin, its competitor, might implement it, and vice versa. So at the end of the day, guys, if you're tired of 50-50s, if you're tired of pulling Ling Yangs and Deluxe when you're doing your summons for your favorite characters, you should be rooting that a game with no gacha, 4 characters and weapons, could do better. You should be rooting for that, because if a game like Duet Night Abyss ends up doing really good with the passing of time, ends up making good money where the devs are like, this is looking good, maybe your favorite game will remove the 50-50. How would you feel if Wuthering Waves removed the 50-50? Genshin Impact removed the 50-50? Think about that. That's going to be it for this video. Appreciate you guys for watching. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and let me know your comments in the comment section below. For now, I'll see you guys on the next one, and peace.